Welcome to Captive Conversations. I am your host, Adam from Captive Wi-Fi. Join us as we dive into behind-the-scenes stories of our hospitality leaders, exploring tech, operations, and marketing through the eyes of the experts. Let's get the inside scoop together. This is my first podcast. This is hilarious because we had lots of challenges throughout. With GoPros going off, GoPros going on, overheating, but we got the audio all the way through. So there are some blips and bops throughout. I want to introduce Chris Fletcher, who is the number one on episode 1 of our podcast. Chris has a company called Tech on Toast. If you want to check it out, pop over to techontoast.community, not www, because it's easier. We talked about his route into hospitality. We talked about his favorite tech stack. We talked about the marketplace and the changes in the company and what's moving forward. It was really exciting, really good conversation, and I hope you enjoy it. It's episode 1. There's plenty more where this comes from. Lots more really cool people lined up. Enjoy and see you soon. Do you want to unscrew this?
I want to be like you.
Because then you can have it real mic. Sorry for the noise, everyone.
Yeah, no, I feel like John Motson. Welcome to the football.
Okay.
Do you know this is the only second podcast I've been on? Anyway, sorry.
Third, no?
I'm ruining your start.
You sent me...
Yeah, that was my first one ever. I've only ever been interviewed once.
But then you sent me a link to another one you did interview.
No, that was Phil Street.
But after Phil Street?
No.
So you've had Phil Street... Well, I think there's one more, and then there's Sean as well, right?
Oh, Sean, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Just
Hi,
Sean. Hi, Sean. Just Sean and Phil Street, I think.
Okay, so I'm number 3.
I'm too busy interviewing
other people. Well, it's really interesting because I find it that we don't hear about your story.
No.
And you're like, I'm listening to the podcast and I'm hearing, oh, yeah, so when I was here in blah, 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 and then we hear little snippets of, oh, I was here and I did this, and when I was at Carluccio's, I did this, and I'm like,
yeah, for any avid listeners,
right?
Carluccio's, Nixon, yeah, they all come up every week.
So, okay, so we're going to start really simple.
Yes.
I have already sent you the questions, so you should already have them.
I'm so prepared.
Are you?
I spent all day preparing.
Really?
No.
With your really bad internet.
But actually, your first short question is interesting.
Oh, thanks.
And I'll explain why.
So my basic questions are... We're starting questions is and I'm going to bring this over here because otherwise I'm going to keep looking at my phone.
That's rude.
Okay, start questions. Emailing. Best burger.
So I want to be. This is a bit longer than you wanted, probably the answer. No. But have you seen the film Ratatouille?
Yes.
And you know when the chef, the rat, cooks for the food critic and he eats it and he transports him back to wherever. So
is that like you with wall sausages?
No, the Swiss burger, which was a brand called What's Cooking. I don't know if do you remember that they were very Northwest. The beginnings of Est and all that appeared in Northwest, but. Albert Dock, What's Cooking, was an American diner. My mum and dad used to take me there, and I used to have a Swiss burger, which was Swiss cheese on a burger. Yep. But I don't know why, but there's never been anything like that since then. So whoever made that burger back in the 90s and 90s in Liverpool Albert Dock, the Swiss burger.
The Swiss burger.
Thank you.
Interesting.
That's all the prep I did.
I'm going to do some research on that, the Swiss burger.
The guys that owned it were really cool. They opened a few things. They were quite big players in the hospitality space back in the day. When we were young.
Best restaurant. It could be anywhere. It doesn't have to be in the UK.
Look at you making out I'm international. Cheesecake Factory. Or iDrive.
Okay.
It's only good because the kids love it because the menu's like a catalogue.
Yeah, it's huge.
Good fun. Yeah, it's good fun.
And then
a little one in Café. It's called Volare. It's Italian. It's run best restaurant of the year 3 years in the run in Wales, and it's in my little right by the castle in Café. It's very good. 40 covers.
On that note, I have 3 clients in Wales now.
Do you in Café?
Yeah. No, not in Café.
Who have you got?
It's called the Fech Griffin.
Be careful, Ace. The what?
There's 3 locations.
Well, hang on. Which bit of Wales?
I have no idea.
Oh, right. Well,
they're in very rural and they look very cool.
Yeah, well, Wales is cool.
Yeah. It's
just peaceful.
Cool.
I love going home.
Yeah, he's got like it's like a pub with rooms. Really cool.
Oh. Yeah, it's not my guy, is it? Town and Country? No,
it's eat, sleep, drink. That's the company. They've got three locations. But I digress.
I'll check them out.
Let's go on.
I'm glad you ventured into Wales. It's good. It's good for everyone. It's good for your soul.
I'm working on. We're doing stuff with them in Scotland now, which is also really cool. So that's fun.
You're like a Celtic master.
Trying. We have you should go to the Craigellachie Hotel whiskey if you like the whiskey. Really good hotel. Has our system too. Okay, best hotel.
Oh, best hotel. Oh, the other house. I'm literally going there in an hour.
The other house
in
is very
Kensington.
nice.
And there's something special about that place. And the fact that it's called, I actually call it my other house when I'm in London, because I've never, ever, I don't know if, when you used to travel, I don't know if you ever did travel, if you were in London most of the time.
Don't get the opportunity.
Because I travel a lot because I don't live here.
Yeah.
I always stay in hotels and I hate switching hotel. I can't stand. So now I go there. I don't have the same room, but I just feel like I'm at home.
And they've got the space downstairs where you can hire the courtyard and stuff. Right?
Unbelievable. They've got the private members suite downstairs. It's got a grand piano in, and it's beautiful. And they've got light speed and
apparently they've got a lot of tech.
Yeah, they're very techy. They're very tech led. When they opened it, I did a podcast with them actually with Naomi Heaton, the owner, when they first opened. But they're doing Covent Gardens opening in 6 months.
Is that the one with the multiple locations all stuck into one building?
They've taken 3 blocks of townhouses and converted it into this another house. Another house?
The other house.
That's probably not very good branding.
The special house.
House.
Okay, so the best hospitality experience.
Ooh, can it be for me?
Yeah.
So we went to Hard Rock in Park Lane on a rickshaw, like as tourists do.
What music was playing on the rickshaw?
I don't know.
It's got to be some like 90s
It might
pop.
have been Frozen or something, because I was with the kid. We'd just been to see Lion King. We got a rickshaw down to Park Lane to Hard Rock. And there's a guy who used to run the door called the Governor. And I used to work at Hard Rock for a long time. And he recognised me and went, oh, and they always queue everyone, right? It's a policy they've always had.
Yeah.
And they took Shay and Teague and they let them run the door for like 15 minutes, That's kids.
So cool.
And then they took them down in the vault where they have all the rock and roll stuff. And there was no need. And it's not like I'd left 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And the fact that he recognised me and did that, it's nice to feel special, right?
Yeah, it's what happens when you have no hair and a beard for 10 years.
You can become very recognisable.
I'm sure I met someone earlier today that looked at me and went, "You look really familiar."
Well, I said to you, I was talking to someone today and they went, Adam Foreman. And they do that face, Adam Foreman. I wonder if I get that, but yeah.
Okay, so this is... Hold on, I'm going to turn this sideways now so I can actually see it.
Another good product, sideways.
This is oh, interesting.
Yeah. L&D. Check it out.
I will.
Sorry.
Okay, origins in hospitality. Ooh. Where did it begin? How you fell in hospitality? And if possible, at least one funny or interesting story.
Oh, God. There's loads of funny stories. Very quickly, family ran hotels when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. My dad's side, Lake District, Scotland and Yorkshire. Ended up growing up with the chefs running around and like chasing the waitresses around in the right way, as in just having fun. And just really loved the fact that there was kind of a community within a community in a business. And then went to school, didn't really care for school very much, did it enough to get through everything. And then when I got to leaving, I got a job at Wimbledon one summer at the tennis championships, and I lived on this girl's floor in Putney. And it was the summer that the girl streaked in the men's final, and she bet us all her tips the night before.
You knew it?
Yeah, in Putney Village, because we all worked for Gardner Merchant. I don't remember Gardner Merchant. No. They were like a contract caterer, and so we all worked there for the summer. It was 96, and we all sat in the pub the night before, and she was like, "I'm going to streak tomorrow," and we all made a lot of tips.
Yeah,
and so we bet all of our tips she wouldn't do it, and she did it. Yeah, she made a fortune, and she was on the radio, Capital Radio, the next day getting interviewed. Amazing. And her mum also a streaker in the 80s at the cricket. So there you go. So did that, and then fell into hotels very near here. Regent's Crest on Carburton Street.
Yes,
and then since then, Whitbread, Hard Rock Café, Carluccio's, and then finally Prime Minister on the board there. And I've got many funny stories. How funny can I go?
You can go as funny as you like. One main point that will always be in the memory.
Actually, it's not funny. But Hard Rock, where we used to do the catering at the events in Hyde Park, and we did the Hard Rock Calling, it was called. Then we did Live 8. Yeah. Remember the second Live Aid? Mm-hmm. And I was a chef in the kitchen cooking ribs for the VIPs.
Okay, chef?
Well, I was a GM, but they made me cook for ribs in the kitchen. If you want to go, you have to do whatever you're told. So I was serving Paul McCartney, Madonna, so it was pretty cool. And then we closed off. Everyone went home. We were left, all the chefs to clean up. And I went into the Hyde Park arena, the field, and there was about 10 builders, me, a guy from Madrid, George Sharp, who was the GM of Madrid, Shout out to George. And we sat in the field just having a fag. And Madonna came on stage and started rehearsing. And then followed by Pink Floyd, the first time they'd ever played together in 25 years or something. And we just sat there going, and he turns to me and goes, "This is why we do hospitality, mate."
That's good.
It was a pretty cool... And the Hard Rock was full of those stories. It was just a very, very... You know when you work for a brand and it does what it says in the tin? I feel like you're like that. I feel like Support Wizard, whatever you say you do, you actually do it. Hard Rock were the same. They just did. They said you're going to have fun.
It's
rock and roll.
consistency, right? I think it's consistency.
Just great people, and and just who really cared about the product and really cared about anyone who came in to interact with it. And I learned everything there. Everything that I took to Carluccio's was from the Hard Rock, and and my mum and dad. Apart from that, they taught me everything.
So Hard Rock, it wasn't a hotel back then, right? It was just a restaurant.
No, it was just. I think we had Orlando Live, and the Hard Rock Hotel in Orlando was open at that point.
Yeah, but when it was it was just a restaurant, right?
Oh, sorry, yeah. So they corporate owned the restaurant side of that, and then it was franchised the rest of it. But it wasn't the same.
Yeah,
it wasn't as good as the rest.
No,
but they listen to this. Yes, they will.
Okay. All right. Fine. On to the next, which is okay. Sorry. On to the next. I can cut that bit. On to the next.
No, don't cut any of it. I think you should. Don't edit any of this.
Nothing is being cut.
No, leave it
because I don't have the time to discuss it up into pieces. So it will be.
Listen to
I'll tell you what.
I'll
give you a.
Thanks, man.
There you go.
Some people tell me that they edit out the ums. Oh, shut up. Some people tell me that they edit out the ums and ahs, and I'm just like, how much time do you have in your day? I mean, maybe proper podcasts. Maybe Stephen Bartlett does that.
That's because they use Descript.
Oh yeah. Is it good? No, I've tried it.
Even with the videos, you end up like looking.
Yeah.
So.
And also, like, your audience, so just accept that we're having a chat.
Yeah, you're on the sofa in my lunch area in our office. It's not an actual podcasting studio.
This side looks really glamorous. That side, not so much.
Come on, I mean, I have a microwave and a
fire extinguishers.
Oh yeah. Don't look over that way, whatever you do. I'll turn the camera around later.
No, don't.
I'm digressing.
You'll ruin the illusion.
Okay, so note to self: have it on a piece of paper, not on a phone.
Put it there.
No, because it keeps going off.
A piece of paper.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Or an iPad.
Or turn your thing off. So your screen stays live all the time.
I've got a really good idea. Thank you so much.
So you're welcome.
Really helpful.
That's why I'm here on episode 1.
Thank you.
To guide.
1, 2, 3.
With my green light. Where's my green light? Here it is.
I hopefully haven't broken my iPad now because it's now on guided access and I can't turn it. So, okay, on to the next one. I'm really surprised that Chris has given me technical advice. This is just wrong.
Every day's a learning day.
Every
day's a school day.
Okay, so Tech on Toast.
Yes.
Because it's not... I will come into it after because you let yourself into this when you told me about Ask Fletch.
Oh, yes.
So Ask Fletch to Tech on Toast.
Yes.
So before you start, the career... Why?
Yeah.
Which is obviously the thing one. When did it hit you that there was a need for it? And also, I like this one because this is an interesting one. What advice would you give yourself if you rewound the clock? If you started all over again and you were like...
Well, I'll start with Ask Fletch. So when I was sitting in Prime Minister, I was on the board there as ops director, and opposite me was a chap called Ryan who basically does all their branding. He's amazing. Like... Anything that Prime Minister's done well in terms of customer facing, Ryan's behind it, but he doesn't work for them.
Oh, okay.
He's like a secret source. I think he's self-employed. I'm not sure how it works, but anyway, he sits in the office and he's just quite inspiring to sit by. And he talked a lot about branding and running your own thing and and I used to listen to the founders talk to him about building their brand. And so I learned a lot just sitting there, just listen and listen and listen.
Yeah.
And then when the pandemic came in, Prime Minister, we had to lay a load of people off. I was just like, I'm done. I can't. This is horrible. Not Prime Minister, they're amazing. Just the pandemic really, like a lot of people, peed me off. So I came out and thought I'm going to do my consultancy and Ask Fletch, because everyone used to say, oh, Fletch, what's this? Fletch, what's that? So I said, I'll call it Ask Fletch.
Yeah.
So, and I started doing work for the Welsh Gov, weirdly.
Oh.
Yeah, I was a food consultant for them. So I used to consult with, weirdly, I met this lady from the Welsh Gov in a sausage restaurant. called oh my god, Sausage Revolution. He was my first client, the Sausage Revolution, on a bin tip in Barry in South Wales, and he was on Dragon's Den. This is all true. He's an ex-submariner.
Yeah.
He went on Dragon's Den. He made a hot sauce.
Yeah.
And he lost. He got on telly, but he didn't get the investment. But then he opened, through that fame, he opened his own restaurant.
Oh, mental.
It's mental. So I was in there doing some consulting for him, and I met this lady who worked Welsh Gov and then worked for them. So that's where it all started. But the tech thing started way before that, because when I was ops director at Pi, and even at Carluccio's, I was always the tech guy.
Yeah.
But I'm not a tech guy.
So do you think you were more of like the fixer?
Yes.
Like, I know something that can fix that.
Yeah, and it was like, Chris, what do you think? And it started getting to the point where it was like, oh, this doesn't connect to that. What do we do? And I was like, I don't know. So I go and find out, right?
Yeah.
I was just that guy that, and I think I had an interest. Don't know, but I like to solve things. But good operators tend to like
Problem
to solve
solvers.
things. Yeah. So started looking into that, and then when Ask Fletch was becoming really dull, on the Welsh Gov stuff, well paid, but mind numbing. Yeah.
Anyway.
No, they're lovely people, but it was just food producers, not really my bag. It was just a bit, yeah. Anyway, so I started looking into it and just started the podcast randomly. So I'm going to start talk because we'd been using sponsorship for an events company I was involved in, and all of them were tech guys.
Yeah.
So I started to get to know them, and I really liked them, and I thought they're really cool. They're really trying to help.
So was it originally called Tech on Toast, or what was like the iteration?
Yeah. The first thing was Tech on Toast.
Where did the name come from?
I don't know.
Before Toast came to the UK, obviously.
Yes. Well before Toast. I don't know. I was just trying to find a way to connect tech to hospitality.
Yeah.
And On Toast made sense. But everyone loves the name, actually. It's the best thing I did. And on looking back, I don't think I would have done much different apart from have a plan. So...
Or would you seek to investment in the beginning? Because writing their business plans is always a challenge anyway.
Yeah, it's really hard, and I think you've got, having kissed a few frogs, and I'm sure you have in product world, that you actually have to, you learn from your mistakes generally, and I think young entrepreneurs, when they're, everyone's a CEO and a founder, it makes me laugh. I think it's really hard if you haven't failed a few things and made some mistakes. So I wouldn't change anything in that sense, but building the community is the most important thing I've done. And it's a weird thing because you don't really meet the community much. Like you see them at an event or you see,
I think that's a restructuring thing you might want to do. Because
you're going to make me do the Slack channel, aren't you?
No. I get what you said, because tech people will be on Slack.
Yeah.
But operators won't necessarily be on Slack.
Well, I know that because when I do the tech reviews with them and I say, can I add you to a Slack channel? They all went, huh?
Yeah. I know you looked at other platforms as well. I've recently joined something else recently, like a networking thing, like business networking thing. And he's using an app called Circle.
Yes.
Which is quite nice as well. I wasn't going to get it, but he's actually built a nice community.
Yeah, you can build communities through Circle, and there's another one as well. I did look at Circle. I've looked at Disciple as well. It's a good one. But it depends where we go.
Yeah. I think that I have to say this now, that I appreciate that Tech on Toast has come, because before you, there was a huge void.
Yeah.
There was like nothing. And way before, there was a little restaurant group of people that brought people together.
Yeah.
But it was sponsored, so people would you'd come, you'd meet, and then you'd listen to someone for 45 minutes who you didn't want to listen to, but you'd sort of go to the networking, and it was pretty cool, but it died.
Yeah.
And there was nothing bringing people together. So I have to say, on my behalf and on other people's behalf, thank you for building this. I know it's going to grow and things are changing.
Yeah. No. I think one of the most exciting things, I was talking to I don't want to name, Mark Selby today on email.
Yeah.
From Oaxaca. And had him lined up for a brunch, and we've had to cancel the brunch for various reasons. So I said, I don't need you anymore, thanks very much. And but I talked to him about service in next February in Brewdog, and I watched the video back from the last one. We've made a really sexy video from it. Yeah. And that is probably the thing I'm most proud of so far, doing that. Turn that round in 6 weeks. That's insane.
I don't know how you did that.
Me neither.
but it was...
But that was a unique hospitality moment where operators, suppliers... you guys, everybody involved.
It was really weird to have everyone together.
Yeah, really weird.
It's usually targeted.
Yes.
Or you go to an event when there's an exhibition where there's hundreds and you're fragmented. But it was really nice little pockets of people who...
And this time, we're going to do a supplier panel, because suppliers never get on stage unless they pay, right? Or unless they're sponsors. So, can I swear?
Yeah,
fuck that.
Yeah.
So I think that's really, because these people often, I have that Vietnam saying, operators kind of say, you don't know, man, you're not there. You haven't worked in the industry, you don't understand it. Well, actually, there's hundreds of people working in this industry, in the tech industry for hospitality, like you, there's 7 or 8 people in that room next door here working their arse off to make sure they're on 24/7.
It's the people behind the people.
Yeah, and I just think they need to be out front as well. Why are they any different just because they don't own a restaurant?
That's probably one of the main reasons why I'm doing this, is to to speak to the people behind the people. Because
Yeah.
you might be doing podcasts, but people don't know you. They know you, but they don't know the story.
Yeah.
And it's all about the storytelling thing. So I think back to service, it was really interesting to see a whole range of people and just nice networking. And there was nothing in your face about it. So
And it was weird. It was loud. It was brash. There was beer. There was. I mean, this year Lucky Voices opened right next door. So we're talking to Lucky Voice about taking that after the event.
That'd be clever.
Carnage. But that I think, and Kieran hopefully will do it as well with me, which would be great because I just love.
I need to
bringing
ask a
people together.
question.
Yes.
You and Kieran.
Yes.
Where did that start?
Well, he was at Hard Rock actually. He's not here to defend himself, so I'll say this. He got sent to me. When I was a GM in Cardiff,
And he made you better.
No, he was sick on his own shoes in the first week, and on a waitress actually when we went out drinking. But we met him.
I won't cut that, Kieran. I'm really sorry.
We met him at Hard Rock, and we were friends at Hard Rock. Didn't speak to him for about 6 years, and then when EXP came along, which was in between Ask Fletcher and everything else, when we were running the events. I didn't want to go up front with it because I was working and I didn't want to. It's that weird thing that you do. And now everyone's doing it. But back then I didn't really want to have a job and say I run this. So I said to Kieran, do you want to be the front man? Yeah. And he loves that, right?
Yes.
That's where he's
I mean, he's done content for years. Yeah. I have to say one thing.
He's one of the first, actually.
Really?
I think so.
I saw one of the videos, actually. I think you or him sent me. Yeah.
Oh.
But not only that, he made a really good point. I was at one of your brunches and he said, please, just do me a favour. Get your iPhone and just turn the camera around.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I'd never even thought about it because you're looking at the screen. And I've been telling everyone, I've been passing
I saw that.
to everyone telling everyone. And I've done a couple of videos and people have been like, oh, yeah, thanks.
But he absolutely, he adores. I quite like the building them. I don't really love the talking.
Yeah.
It's weird for someone
to be fair, at service, he was out.
Yeah, I don't do any of that.
And you were hidden away in the little box.
Happily. And people think I like to do all that stuff, but actually I'm more comfortable. This is fine.
Yeah.
One-on-one, and that's why I like the podcast. But doing panels and stuff, actually, I don't love it. Yeah. I feel under pressure, you know?
I wouldn't notice. So the persona that you put on when you get there.
But that's exhausting, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to get it done, and that I think a lot of people who do that kind of stuff, I think it's when you get home, it's after our very first event, me and Kieran got on the train back to where he was going to Nottingham, I was going to Cardiff, and I remember speaking to him on text, going, "I am broken."
Yeah,
we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But it's just the pressure because you want to make sure everyone has a good time. That's
I used to events, so I feel the same.
Yeah,
especially doing corporate, you power through the day. And then at the end,
you just. But it's that constant. I think when you're in hospitality, it's that constant need to do a good job, not let people down.
Yeah,
and you have that in you, right? I mean, you're. My God, what you do is even worse, right? Because if anything breaks your end, or even if it doesn't break your end, they think it's broken your end.
Yeah, the responsibility.
Yes, responsibility is the word, and accountability.
I think for me, the thing that I find really important is that customer service piece. Yeah. So it has to be perfect, has to be done.
And that's an obsession, right? And I think the best people in hospitality just have that.
Yeah.
I like literally, sometimes I won't sleep worrying about a Slack I haven't answered. That's not normal, is it? No.
So something for you. Get Calm. It's a really good app.
Is that the guy from the Dallas guy that speaks?
There's lots of people that speak on there.
What's his name?
Calm is a really good app. And people with
ADHD.
Yes, I wasn't going to say it because we're not diagnosed.
I'm not diagnosed, but I know I'm there.
Brown noise is on a specific spectrum.
Really?
And it sounds like that the TV channel back in the day when it was just like white noise.
Yeah.
But brown noise. Brown noise is slightly different megahertz, and Calm will let you leave it on all night, and it will.
Is it just a single tone?
Single tone.
Oh my God!
But I promise you. Put it on. Your wife will kill you. Put it on.
She's ADHD as well.
It's fantastic at adjusting what you're thinking about.
Wow.
Because I had something going on. I was worried about something we built and it wasn't working. But the client was happy. Nothing was wrong. It was me.
But it climbs up on you, doesn't it? And it's it's like a monkey on your back. It's very weird, that kind of pressure. I'm sure people listening will know about pressure if they work at any kind of job, and it doesn't matter if you're a miner or a bloody tech.
I think the other challenge you forget about is that when it's your business.
Yeah.
So if you're working for someone else and then you go home, Yeah. Switch off, go home, have your dinner, it's fine. When you're working for your brand, your business, you've got people and the responsibility of those people.
Yeah, now you make me feel sick again, yeah. But do you know what? But I wouldn't... for all the stress and pressure of it, I don't think I could do anything else. I mean, I'll never say never, right?
I have to say, it's nice to be able to follow the dream.
Yeah,
So
and whatever the dream is.
Yeah, and it's always changing.
Yeah.
Okay,
anyway,
back on track.
Yes.
So, insights from the marketplace.
Well-written questions, Adam.
Thank you. ChatGPT. Version 4.
3.5
in fact,
is so old.
It did a deep dive on you searching Bing, actually. It was quite interesting.
It was quite short.
It went on for about 4 hours. No, it was very interesting. I asked it to do a short deep dive. So it did
Criminal records
podcasts. No, the streaking thing it found. No, I'm kidding.
That wasn't me.
Through Tech on Toast,
yes,
you must have had some very scary audits.
Yes,
seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Can you share not the company, but like something scary, like
yes.
something from?
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a shared theme across all of them.
Yeah,
and the shared theme is integration. Yeah, lack of it, and the other thing is accountability. They're the two things that I think that are. It's really interesting. I was on a podcast weirdly today with Brendan from JKS, and he said to me, change management and project management are like two twins. Yeah. This is really cool. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to say that they look the same, but they're not the same. And he was saying that actually when a hospitality operator might run a project, you'll know this, to put in a new piece of tech, and they do it systematically, they do it well, they put it in, and it's all been put in. That's not the same as being change ready, and that's not the same as the adoption process of the people within the business. So the most common thing we're seeing, and you can call it scary, is that actually they're in a place, and it's not SME. This is not small business I'm talking to. I'm talking to chains that everybody will know, that frequent every day on the high street, that you would think have got their shit together. And it's not about not having their shit together. It's about not having someone solely responsible for managing their hospitality tech. Now, as you go up the ladder, you get your William Connors and those kind of people who is like the mastermind of tech, and CTO or head of IT. It's easier, but it's often with an operations manager, general manager, who's running part of their tech stack. So the most common thing we're seeing is that rollout. It was one piece of tech the other day that a company had been paying for 18 months. They haven't. It's only been logged into 8 times. Wow. 400 people in the workforce.
Okay. Wow.
Which is kind of mind-blowing. Oh, no.
Where have you gone off? So that one's gone off. But
this one's still... Yeah, we're still going. We're still rolling.
It's all right.
We're back.
There we go. I'll tell you what. I'll unplug that. Yeah.
I feel like I'm back at Brewdog with these bloody cameras.
There we go. Back. See, this one's bad boys running, but this one here...
Yeah, the battery looks low on that one, no?
Yeah, it's all right. It's on 70%.
But yeah, so,
don't tell me what's going on with my tech.
Your studio. There's multiple... JKS, I think, at one point had... Brendan was telling me, like 25 to 35 different applications tech they're using. And he was saying to me, I genuinely think we just need to sweat it more and spend more time on it. So in the answer, very short answer is that it's... integration and accountability around who is bloody owning the tech and who's actually getting the most out of it. Brendan does a weekly or bi-weekly call with every supplier he has.
That's really good.
That's mental, isn't it? And I know it's time. Yeah. And I'm sure the tech guy's like, oh my gosh, Brendan again. But actually, what a great way to stay in touch.
So, funnily enough, we work with I'm not going to say the company. We work with a company who the finance director is going to do what Stephen from
the one plate of truth.
One plate. So they're going to bring they work on a project, stock control, new till systems already in, and they were saying, can we get everyone in together? So for me, I'm just sitting on the side as like a.
Are you in the group?
Yeah. So it's not my choice, but I'm going to be in there just to have a listen and then maybe pipe up and go, excuse me, that's wrong.
Yeah, Adam's just going to sit there quietly. Not me.
Can I ask a question, please?
But no, I think that community. One of the things that I wanted Tech on Toast to do was to expose this gap that exists, right? And the more people like you and the more people like Sean, everyone who joins in and talks about hospitality tech, it's just going to help, right?
Do you find that you are now getting all the little bits and bobs of small companies going, I want to be on the marketplace, please, can I be on the marketplace? And is there going to be like a person that stands outside flyering isn't part of the tech stack?
Yeah, there are a few knocking on the door, but we are changing it as we speak. So a new website is being launched. Depends when this goes out. It might even be live when this goes out. When will it go out?
As soon as
don't say tomorrow.
Possible. No, as soon as possible. Well,
if we can wait till next week, I reckon I could have my website live. So on that,
I will wait till next week
because we need
more time.
We need to email Captive Wi-Fi because one of the additions we're adding is integrations. at the bottom of each.
I know someone from there.
Yeah. What, from Captive Wi-Fi? Yes. But we're doing a few additions and with a new website launching, blah, 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 blah.
So
but the marketplace
I know I've got other questions, but I need to tee into the split out of Tech on Toast because it's not just Tech on Toast. So talk to me about, if you can, about each like sector, because it's not just the marketplace.
Yes.
So,
what, into my 4 verticals?
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you for doing that, because that's what the new website will be. So yeah, I mean, as I said, Tech on Toast started off as a community. Then we built the marketplace.
Yes.
So we had those 2 things going. We were doing the events and the podcasts sit firmly in the community. That's what we do to keep people interested. The marketplace is what it says, advertises all of the lovely offers on the market. But we've got 2 new verticals that we built. One is people. So we now have a chap called Tim Bathgate, who's our head of people, who's going to recruit for Hospitality Tech. That's interesting so far.
Oh, that one's powering off now. What is happening? Literally, my technology is dying. All right, let's do this again. I'm so sorry.
Where's your charger?
It was in that one. That's now full.
Pass it over.
No, we're all good.
Oh, it's just recording. Turns off.
It just thinks we're not using it.
It's like my nan. Just has enough sometimes.
It's not very good for false teeth.
Yes, so we have the people side of things, which we've launched or launching with the new website. And then the final one is growth. And growth is where we are actually retained by about 7 or 8 different hospitality tech people, won't tell you who, where we help them with their marketing. That can be as simple as running their LinkedIn page to doing big campaigns, events for them, case studies. We've put up great case
because
studies.
Lots of tech companies are very crap at marketing. But no, I listen.
I think they talk to themselves in marketing. Okay. I think that, for instance, Captive Wi-Fi, you know the product inside out. So if you personally were to do marketing for Captive Wi-Fi, you're more than likely to talk to almost treat the audience as you. It's very hard to think outside of... What the fuck is that noise?
You're right, it needs power. I'm so sorry.
Come on, feed her.
It's overheating.
Yeah, that's what happens with Brewdog a lot.
Yeah. Let's do it again.
You have to spend more money, Adam.
There we go.
More money,
well,
more
this
money.
one seems to be okay. It's cooled
for
down now. So, yeah, I don't know. Listen, the good news is that the recording is on the road.
Yeah, it's all good. It's fine.
So, thank you, Road.
What were we saying? Yeah, so, and for the marketing side, I think generally tech guys will come in, and I'm not going to dismiss this, but they will obviously have an idea, build product, bring sales on, sell the product, develop, sell, and at some point have to turn to marketing because it's a competitive market and they've got to beat Captive Wi-Fi, whoever it might be. So and it's not just about beating; it's about we do a lot of persona workshops, stuff like that for clients, understanding who they're actually selling to.
I think the biggest thing that I've always been taught is the piece that says treat them like a 3-year-old. So don't explain this is a stock control platform that can do everything and your mother, but explain it to them in like a 3-year-old.
So the word enterprise is a really interesting word.
Scary.
And we spoke to a client about the word enterprise in a persona review the other week, and I send our marketers, we've got strategic marketers who work for us. I don't go to these things because I know those words. So I send them, they have no clue about tech. Yeah. They couldn't give a toss. They don't care. So they're sitting there and they said, what does that mean? What does enterprise mean? And they're like, oh, it's big business, big, Burger King, McDonald's. And they're like, yeah, but if I'm not Burger King, McDonald's, do you want to sell to me? And they were like, well, yeah. I said, well, then I'm not enterprise. So it's just trying to understand some of the key words that sit on your website that you end up talking to yourself. It's very, and I understand it. It's product based. It's like Mars bars, selling Mars bar to Mars bar.
So
people.
my wife says it's like Smarties. So when I talking tech, she says the red Smartie, the blue Smartie. She goes, it's all Smarties. Like I don't understand what it is. It's Smarties. It's in my hand, and I want the red one. And you sort of need to explain it like it's Smarties.
And you really need to pull out from your product why you are different, and that's not always a feature thing. It's I think people are becoming more and more in tune with it. Why do you think Captive Wi-Fi is doing well? Is it because of the product or because of you?
I think both.
Yes.
But, I mean, probably most.
Well, obviously, if you had a crap product, it wouldn't work, right?
Yes, I think that the reason I think it's doing well is it's a different type of product that's out there.
But do you think you're approaching yourself like I would put you and Prithvi from Sentiment Search in a similar bracket? In fact, he is full on leading with his hilarious videos.
So think about this. Think about founder led versus enterprise.
Yeah.
So the very difference is that for me and Captive, you want to speak to me, I'm the founder, I'll onboard you.
Yes.
My team will support, but you get me.
Yeah.
So I think that's and Prithi's the same, right? So it's his and his co-director's product.
And the key is when you get investment, deliver X style. Prime Minister was saying that when they were growing, they still want to retain that independent feel. They didn't want to feel like a chain. And I think it's the same for tech companies. Have you heard of All Gravy?
No, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, he's a guy called All Gravy. He does it's like employer. I'm going to really bugger it up, but he helps employer engagement basically. But I love it. He's got long hair. He's a crazy guy from Denmark. I just think if I was an operator and met him, I think I sold him to Otterlange the other day. Otterlange is taking him, but sorry, Otterlange. If I should.
You also know another crazy guy from Netherlands, don't you?
Which one? Oh, Lawrence.
Hi, Lawrence.
He's the best dressed man in tech.
Another one. The GoPros are overheating, everyone.
That is literally got to be good.
So literally,
There
must be a way of recording without having the battery.
Yeah, you need. I'll give you a. I've got a Canon camera. I'm going to send you. I don't use it anymore. It's nice.
So there is the vlogging one. So I think it's time to send that one back. This one's okay.
Yeah,
but this has got the medium.
That's like the evil twin. Doesn't like it.
That's the refurbished one from Amazon.
Oh, really? Adam, why'd you do that?
Budget constraints. Okay, back to this. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Found out he was spending $2,000 on podcasts.
It wasn't that much, actually. It was a lot less. Okay, this is a really good one, actually.
Yes.
So this,
Even if I do say so myself.
If you were opening a new hospitality, QSR or casual dining, this is a tricky one. You don't have to mention the brand names if you don't want to. But the tech stack that you would choose, this is good for you. What tech stack would you choose? You don't have to say the product because this will get you in trouble with everyone that you work with. But you can say, this is the foundation of what's needed to talk to each other.
The way it's quite interesting, and I'd love to have this conversation with you. Do you think EPOS or CRM these days sits at the heart of the tech stack? Because if I'm brand new, right, like you say, and I'm starting a restaurant, I think if you can start on that data journey right at the start, so not shoehorn it in later.
Interestingly enough, before this meeting, my meeting for they've both gone off. Absolutely livid.
Carnage.
Okay, there we go. We're back on. Sorry. Camera's going to be a bit shocking.
It just heats up, does it?
What?
It's mad, isn't it? How it just overheats.
I don't...
No, I think it is that. That's what Monica said at Brewdog.
Yeah. I think it does just generally overheat and then it will turn itself off.
Camera.
Very naughty.
Anyway.
Before this meeting, I had a meeting with a client for Captive Wi-Fi. And they mentioned... They're not open yet. And I won't mention the brand, but we were talking about CRM. And he mentioned I don't really do the CRM thing. I'm more like the operator, but I've been sort of thrown into this because it's a new brand and so on. So his responsibility was the tech stack and CRM and Wi-Fi because there's no reservations. So I find that really interesting. A new operator, in the operations people, because they don't have a marketing team yet, right? So if you're a new brand, you won't have a marketer.
No.
Right?
Like tech, you don't have marketing yet.
Yeah, there's no marketing. So now, and proving to your point, that this tech stack is POS and CRM.
I feel like you're going to be doing this all your podcasts.
I'm getting upset now. All right, I'm bringing this one a bit forward.
Put this one on as well, and then we've got 2 for 1.
There we go.
Yeah, we're not recording.
No, we are recording.
Yeah. In answer to your question, I think today, obviously you've got to have a pause, right? Because it's the heartbeat. But CRM is probably my second movement these days ahead of... Because you think about it, everything you do going forward is about growth, or it should be if you're running a restaurant. You shouldn't go into anything like that thinking...
And so growth, CRM, loyalty...
And it doesn't... I mean, when I say growth, I don't mean multiple sites. You can just own one site and be very successful.
Yeah.
But how are you going to sweat, wring every bit of data out of your customers in a nice way?
So do you thinking about... So part of this tech stack is the customer journey.
Yes.
Because it's not just a customer journey on the aspect of going in and for the POS.
Yeah.
It's customer journey for the data as well.
Yeah. And before, you would buy a POS because you needed to put the orders through.
Yeah.
That's not why you buy an EPOS now. No. Obviously, that's the function of it, the overall function. But you're buying it because it needs to flow and integrate into the rest of your stack.
Yeah.
That will enable your customers to not just be... on premise, but they'll be off premise, online.
So that probably goes back to your piece about having integrations and
but understanding that. Imagine being in a place where you had that knowledge. If you speak to any, like you said to me, if you could start again, what would you do differently? All of them would have it on one page.
Yeah.
Back to front, what we're going to do. This is our plan. So alongside their budget.
A bit like what William Connors did with with the layout.
Exactly that. William helped me build my tech stack reviews for what I now do.
Yeah.
I took something he did and we just converted it, and we used Miro board to draw for the operators. And we do something called Tech Stack Lite where we just draw the one pager.
Yeah.
So on one page, you can all sit there and go, right, what does that actually mean?
Yeah.
What are we doing with that? And so I think in answer to your question, following the journey of the customer before you do anything, you need your compliance stuff, training, food stock, all that kind of stuff, food safety, and the legal stuff. But before you buy your POS, your CRM, your loyalty, your shiny thing because your mate's got it next door, just stop and map out the customer journey alongside your tech and do it alongside your
customer
budget.
journey with POS, CRM, and everything really.
Wi-Fi.
Right? Yeah. POS, CRM,
I was talking to a customer today, Adam, about Wi-Fi, and I said, "How is it?" And their words were shit. And I said, "Why is it shit?" Explain. He said, "Because it takes us 7 minutes to log on."
Yeah.
And customers just they literally see them tossing their phones, like getting angry, and they've only just sat down.
Yeah.
How bad is that? And there's no branded, there's one particular company I'm talking about here. But there's no branded experience for the customer. Everything should be cool now.
Yeah.
There's no excuse
not
to have a cool experience.
No, trumping my own horn. It shouldn't say powered by X, powered by Y.
No, it's nothing to do with them.
It should be their brand.
Yes. It's like when we do a brunch, we don't, it's not tech. Actually, it does become the Tech on Toast brunch now, but it should be whoever owns it, right? It's about them. We couldn't give a toss. It's about the person that's invested the money into it. So I think for an operator, if I'm investing in captive Wi-Fi, I want to talk about me, not you. No offense, mate.
I quite like that. And I know the sales tool that I've always been talking about is people, sorry everyone, they love talking about themselves. So it's not in a horrible way, but if you ask them what they want rather than I'm going to sell you the world, you'll have a much better conversation.
And I think when online ordering really piped up in the pandemic, everyone was building Fuse and Ignite were building those really nice portals where you kind of owned your customer branding still, so you didn't feel like you were going to a third-party website.
Yeah, it looks in keeping.
Yeah, so at least a minimum, a color, like a color that's recognizable to your favorite brand. But I think with our Wi-Fi, we just stopped. I don't know why, but it's probably the most accessible thing. In Australia, someone was telling me everything's 5G. There's no need for Wi-Fi. Yeah, like here, it's crap.
But in Australia, everyone needs a QR. Everyone uses a QR code.
Yes, that's true.
So it's interesting.
But anyway, so for me, build your stack around your customer. Yeah. And also include your operations in that as well. It's spinning, staring at the wheel of death.
This one's on.
Okay. Keep going, number 2.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, cool. Coming to the end.
Everyone's happy about that.
Predicting the future. Okay. This is a good one. Okay, so based on your trends you've seen, what new technologies will become crucial in the hospitality in the next 12 to 24? Because,
Yeah.
What do you see? Like, you've seen trends, you've seen new solutions come out.
Well, we see actually what people type. There's 2 different things here. I think
the searching.
Yeah, we know what people are looking for, but we also what's interesting to me is so what people are searching for is around what we spoke about just then, around loyalty, CRM, around joining the dots. Yeah, and I think loyalty's been kicked around for probably 12, 18 months in a bigger way, but still not there. I think what's coming in terms of AI and automation around what we do around segmented databases and really profiling why Adam comes in, what does he do, and email mark. I went to a dinner with Martin Williams from Gouch, not just him. That sounds cool. There was lots of people there, but it was Patronics, and we were talking about how people spam databases.
Yes.
And it was shocking. I mean, there were some big players in that room, and they were talking. They send one mailer to the whole database every month.
Yeah. And no segmentation.
No, nothing. And I just, so the future, you can sort that out now. That's not the future. That you can fix that now.
We can help with that, don't we?
Yeah.
You can shout her out. Be like,
who?
Big from Data.
No, she has enough publicity. She basically sponsors my podcast without paying. But yeah, Vic can help with that. But so can most of the CRM guys, right? Most of the CRM partners that we work with could definitely help because that's what they do. So, but I think the interesting side, everyone was scared about ChatGPT when they were all freaking out, remember? But actually, everyone's using it. They're all lying. Everybody's using it. Some better than others because it's still very obvious in it when you read it. You're like,
people who've got ChatGPT 3.5 and then ask it to do something and then post. Yeah, it's very interesting to see.
At least tell it to talk in English.
So in the WhatsApp marketing group that I'm in, about 6 months ago, I pasted the 1-page cheat sheet.
That's right. It was very good.
And everyone went crazy. There's a new one coming out from the guy that built it. No. I wish. But I'm going to post a new one with new cheat. So it's all about the context, right? So you can't just ask. Because I was with you the other day,
Yeah.
and you were like, "Oh, I can write this in here," and you were asking questions, and you're like, "Why isn't it working? It's just it's not giving me. I'm gonna pay for the new." So I put you to pay.
Yes,
for
I'm on 4 now. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But when you first started and you were asking questions, you were looking at me going, "But it's not working."
Yeah, I use it a lot for when I'm trying to write bios for events or bios for. I use it for I don't use ChatGPT, but I use something called Swell AI. You should know about this. Swell takes all of my podcast content and recreates it all for me.
Oh,
it's
nice.
unbelievable, into socials, timestamps, everything. And and no one should be ashamed of talking. I think it's almost like a dirty word. Everyone's kind of like, "Oh,
no,
I use ChatGPT." That means you haven't got any skills. Yeah, I've got skills. I've got better skills because that does that for me.
I think it's an enabler for people who are whatever industry you're in. If you want to utilize it for yourself, it's great. Like when the marketers all saw it, they freaked out. I'm just going to lose my job.
I mean, copywriters, fair play. Yeah, I'd be worried. But I think.
Okay, so you think
AI is
huge
huge already,
or just general machine learning stuff?
Yes, and I think that consolidation, whilst not a product, will be the future.
Okay,
so I think more of the EPOS guys are going to become financial institutions.
Oh yeah, I mean you can see the very start payments, right?
I mean like banks.
Yeah, but do you think people like TipJar and other platforms like that are end up also going to be banks?
Yeah. I think, they're all going to want to. It's a race. The only problem I've got with all of it is a bit of a race to the bottom, because how competitive are they going to have to be in terms of percentages to beat off whoever they're fighting with in a pitch?
I would have thought that the smaller brands would link to people like Monzo and others, so then you can feed it in.
Well, they're all going to have to be like Monzo type, aren't? No one's going to have a physical bloody.
No, it'll be virtual.
I think
I think that's another conversation to deep into.
But how interesting would it be? Because if you want to get, I think Square already do this, right? Lightspeed have done this before, where because they see your turnover coming through.
Yes,
you can work out whether I can get a loan or not. So you imagine it, right? So all your information is in my EPOS, and you're like, "I need a loan, Mr. Square." And I said, "Okay, no problem, mate. Well, I can see
because Square do finance as well. Yeah,
I was talking to a site today, and they said they've taken loans out on individual sites through Square based on their turnover.
That's very clever. I wonder what the percentage on that is. Oof.
Yeah, probably not pleasant.
Okay, so
don't you dare!
All right, next one. This is so funny. Just in case people obviously can't see this, my GoPros are powering themselves off, and I found out why. It's because the battery is inside them, and the battery is getting too hot. And because the battery is getting too hot, it's turning itself off to protect itself. Sorry. Hello.
Sorry, I'm just making some content.
Hi.
Say hi, Adam. This is Adam's studio. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a podcast.
Oh, don't! You're showing everything now.
Okay. Oh no, I'll edit that bit.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're nearly done. I apologise, everyone.
We're
getting there.
I'm having fun.
Okay,
we're going to edit this, right?
You told me not to edit it. This is going all the way through. This is perfect. Okay, so we've done the community thing, which is fine.
Yes.
So, okay, can you tell us,
yes,
everyone here listening in this lovely room and online, about a particular challenging situation you've navigated through with Tech on Toast? Ooh. What was the learning curve and what was the outcome? Like something that was like, oh look, they're both going off. Sorry.
You mean outside of the actual day job?
Yeah.
I nearly ran out of money.
Okay.
That was scary. I think
was that just like we need to do an event now?
Yeah, let's do a brunch. I think you get excited about a lot. I get excited, probably like you, about a lot of things and want to do everything. And also, I'm a people pleaser. I'm really bad. It's my weakness.
Do you think you're a yes person?
Yeah.
Okay.
But weirdly, but not in certain situations. So some things I'll be like 100% no. But without a doubt, being a yes person has got me in a few situations I didn't want to be in. I think and also I've got old projects that I took up a year ago, which I'm still doing. Yeah. Because the client's so slow that it hasn't finished.
So how do you handle that? Because you sign someone up for a project.
Yeah, but there's no timeline.
Operators are, I find that marketers and operators can just disappear off the cliff. Yeah. So you're like, let's do this. Let's roll this out. Yeah. It's really exciting.
Not just them, mate. Tech suppliers too.
Yes. Not us.
So not you. No, but we're doing some marketing for a particular client, and it's been going on now. What should have been a 2-month project has been going on for 14 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess that's a learning curve to set up guidelines.
Yeah, it's just about setting parameters, and also when you're building your business.
So 14 months ago was like early days.
Yeah. It's right. Well, I was taking jobs to get going, right? And I was also excited about it. I still am. We're doing good work for them. It's just taking forever. But I think it's the big learning for me, or the big scary thing, was just running the business. And because we were growing quite quickly last year, I had to took on people to support that. But you have to be really smart in the way in who you take on.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I've learned is just making sure that there's no match. You have to have a matching culture.
Yeah.
But the skill set has to be different. Otherwise, what's the point? I might as well do it myself. And if you're like me and you will just do it yourself, which is exhausting and not very healthy. So that's the one thing I've learned this year, actually.
We talked earlier about how do you switch off? Is it the walks in the fields?
Yes. Walk
with the dogs.
I live in Wales, but yeah, the dog, dog, and the kids actually. Nixon, my youngest problem.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sorry, on that question, which one of your kids has
Nixon.
worked? Has he worked in?
Yeah. Oh no! Which one is autistic?
What? No. So that wasn't the question. He's just picking up questions out of his head. One of your kids was working in hospitality.
Shay. The oldest. So he's doing his A-level PE today, actually.
Yes.
He works. He was working in Next clothing.
Yeah.
But he also works with my mate on a street food truck.
Oh, awesome.
And he much prefers the street food truck.
He likes the banter.
Just free. Yeah, banter. Well, do you know what they did to him? They cut the bin bags at the bottom for his first 4 shifts. So every time they said to get the bin, he picked it up and all the bin fell out. How mean is that? Also, the guy that his boss is my old head chef. Okay. So yeah. Camera, I swear to God. But they're all lovely. I would let my kids in hospo, no problem. Would you let your kids work in hospitality?
Well, funny enough, my eldest wants to.
I mean, who would let them anyway? They do what they want.
She wants to be a hairdresser, so she's going to be. She's going to
be
perfect for me. She's going to trim my beard.
Well, we're not going to be able to give her much business.
And yeah, I'd very happily. My nephew worked at a pub after school, and it was the best thing. He said it was the best thing he ever did. He learned how to deal with difficult customers. He learned how to deal with drunk people. Yeah. He learned how to make some best cocktails. He's super happy about that, and it was a really good experience.
I just don't know anyone who says, "Oh yeah, I don't want my kids to go." The experience is insane.
Yeah,
and I've literally got everything to thank for it from the industry. I know everyone goes, "Oh yeah, look at my career," but genuinely, I've done nothing else. Apart from this, and
going back to your youngest, you were about to talk about
Nixon.
Yeah.
What about?
No, but you were about to tell me a story.
He is my other biggest challenge actually in my life because never prepared for that. Right, to have because Shay and Tegan. Neurotypical, is that the right word? And then when Nixon was born, very quickly we were aware he was different.
A bit like you.
Yeah, a bit special like me. And he was diagnosed at 3 with autism, which is a bit scary. So we did lots of reading, not for you, the parent, but scary for, he used to beat me, scratch me, bite me, because he was so angry. Mm-hmm. But now he's like the loveliest kid ever, and he's like very calm. We understand his triggers. He understands his triggers.
I think that's an important piece.
It's that step in the journey was particular, and having the school do it with you is really important because some of the schools they're the naughty kid.
Yeah.
So having the kid, the school understand that he's not naughty.
You had a good support structure there.
Yeah, straight away. So I mean, Kerry was a gangster on that. Like my missus, I tell you what, if she's got an idea in her head, she's like me, but she will not stop.
Yeah.
So that's exhausting as well. But we're building something called Dots actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which I've spoken to Gavin about at Toast. We're not quite there yet, but we're basically going to help kids with autism learn how to code.
Yeah.
Between 12 and 15 years old.
Great.
Just to give them an option to maybe not go and get a normal job, or not a normal job, but go and get a job in tech. Not necessarily hospitality tech, but just give them that skill. Give them that skill to. Look.
Oh.
Can't answer right now, Kieran. But yeah, so just to give him that, give kids that skill, and then we're doing it with Toast. There's no sponsorship or anything like that. It's just
I think it's great.
Gav's got a real interest in helping, and we'll only take after like one cohort a year, but just something that.
Well, it's the future, really.
Well, and you can do it, right? And I think if you can, you should.
Yeah.
So it's not going to cost any money, particularly. Toast are that's really cool. They're going to supply like laptops and whatnot, and maybe some dev time from some of their devs. And that's so cool, right? Imagine being 13.
Can I join? Because I've got...
Mate, you're in. You're like honorary member. You'll be the first cohort.
No, that's really good. That's really exciting.
Yeah, it is. We just need to get it done, but it's not far away.
So we're nearly at the end. Well, this is the last bit.
Everyone will be happy.
They're like, thank God.
So you can go to the toilet in a minute.
Yeah, well, the camera's going to go off again in a second, so we're okay.
I mean, that bit I'm looking forward to. The edit on the cameras is going to be insane.
I don't know how I'm going to do it.
You might just have to put the audio out.
I am. We'll put snippets of this up.
You can stick it into Opus clips.
Oh, where did you find that from?
Oh, you had them.
Oh, thanks. We'll put that in there. I'll have to marry the voice up. Anyway.
No one cares about your editing problems.
Let's do it. I'm going to give you a...
No, that's for you and your editing skills.
Yeah. Well, that's not very good. But this one's good. Okay, last question, everyone.
This has definitely gone on too long now.
Okay, last question. We're very excited. Okay, yeah.
Press it again.
I forgot to turn it off. Our learning curve. I've got another one this week as well. So
Who have you got next?
I've got LP coming in. So
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen him tomorrow for breakfast.
So tell him
He'll
to
be really
behave.
good.
Tell him to behave.
He'll be really good.
Ask
You two will talk.
ask him what's his best dad joke, because apparently he's got
I've
loads.
got to give him 2 questions. Oh.
How did you know?
I
Yeah,
read
so
them.
you read my notes.
Ah.
Please, this is for our next guest. Please, can you give us 2 questions? It could be anything.
Are you going to tell people who the next guest is then?
No.
Oh, well, I know.
You know, because I've just told you.
Ask him what he thinks. What he thinks about the Wi-Fi connectivity in the UK.
And at Brewdog.
Yes. Ask him that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And ask him. He's very into his sport, so I don't want to give him. I'm just trying to think of something random. You've got me.
Come on, anything.
What would he be if he wasn't doing Red Cat?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
What would he be? And it can be anything. He doesn't have to have an interest in it.
Yep.
Spaceman, whatever.
Yeah.
Because the founder at DeliverAct, who doesn't answer it's probably not him who doesn't answer. He's lovely, actually. He's going to be. He generally wants to go to the moon. Like is having spaceman lessons, whatever that is.
Okay, thank you.
This is ridiculous.
This has been Chris Fletcher from Tech on Toast.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. There you go. We'll give you a round of applause.
Bye. Thanks, Adam.
If the camera works.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you. An hour and 30. An
that
hour.
what it was?
That was an hour. That was pretty good.
long.
That's pretty impressive. So
How long are you going to do?
I don't know. You told me not to do any cuts, so I'm just going to put the whole thing on, and we're going to get lots.
We need to check it because have I said anything dodgy?
I'll send it
Okay.
to you. Don't worry.
Okay,
Don't
thanks.
worry.
I still have to.
Okay, we're still going. So,
wait, okay.
Yeah. So, yay! Woo! So, that's the end of the podcast, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.